15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Round of 16 UEFA Fantasy Preview. Jason, we are finally here. We are finally getting to talk about UEFA Fantasy again. How hyped are you about starting this one up?
Yeah, it was a long winter hibernation there, but it's exciting to be back. I really wish Man United was still part of this competition, so it's a little downer for me, but overall, I'm pretty hyped. There's some great fixtures coming up that I can't wait to see.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, both our teams got knocked out. I'm a big Inter Milan fan, but either way, we still get to watch excellent fixtures, excellent players, Messi, Lewandowski. You guys know the names. This video, we're just going to mainly focus on our early draft teams, as everyone is allowed a wild card and everyone is allowed to change up their teams, so we definitely are taking advantage of that. Before we go in, if you guys enjoy our content, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. We will be definitely doing the UEFA Fantasy League all the way to the finals, right, Jason?
Yep, we'll have a video out for each match week at the very minimum.
And also just want to shout out Fantasy Football Scout. You can check out their articles on the UEFA Champions League as well. In addition to their FPL articles, a link should be in the description. We also write for them, so you can check our articles out as well on their website. Okay, let's move on. Jason, tell me a little bit about the rules to this UEFA Fantasy Champions round of 16.
Yeah, just a quick refresher for those of you out there who aren't quite familiar or may not have even read the rules like someone else on this podcast. Not to name any names. But yeah, first thing, Beraht already touched on it, but you have unlimited transfers before the round of 16 begins, so you get to completely reshape your team. Before the second leg of the round of 16, you get 3 free transfers, and then from here on out, you get 5 free transfers between each round, and then 3 again between each leg. So plenty of transfers. I don't think we're going to run into too many issues there. And now you can, bank 1 transfer per week if you don't use them, but maximum of 1 per week. Since the group stage has ended, you can now take 4 players from the same team instead of just 3, and your budget has now raised from 100 million to 105 million. So that's the bare bones right there. If you didn't use your chips already, those are all still available. We both used all of ours though, so that's not even on my mind right now. I'm just playing, the way the game is meant to be played. No chips.
Kind of forgot. I totally forgot. You definitely used all my chips already.
Yep.
But anyways, let's go ahead. Thank you for this recap. I definitely needed it. Let's talk a little bit about the fixtures. Jason, what games and what teams are you kind of interested in looking at?
I think as a fan, I'm really interested in that Barcelona versus PSG match. I think that's going to be a pretty exciting one, and 2 heavyweights of Europe. Maybe a little down from their previous highs, but still should be exciting nonetheless. I think from a fantasy standpoint, I do like Juventus in this round. I also like Bayern Munich, obviously. Lazio is not a bad opponent by any means, but I fully expect Bayern to go through and score plenty of goals in the process. I think Man City, I think they'll advance versus Mönchengladbach, but it might be more difficult than some people out there might expect if you haven't watched Mönchengladbach at all this year. Very strong attacking team versus, City's imperious defense this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I do expect Man City to go through. What are you kind of looking at in these?
As a fan, I am
Oh,
definitely looking forward to this Leipzig Liverpool matchup.
Okay.
If you want to see I think everyone kind of expects Liverpool to go through type of thing. Let's not forget what Leipzig did to Manchester United in the group stage. I think that could continue. They are on a nice run in the Bundesliga. Nice victories against Schalke. This is a dangerous team, specifically their wingers. So I am definitely looking forward to that matchup. In terms of fantasy, I'm going to have to agree with you with Juventus. The other one also is a very easy one, would be Bayern Munich. Lazio, I do not think this is their first time in the UEFA Champions League in many years. So excellent for them to make it to the round of 16. But now that they're playing against probably the best team in Europe, it's going to be difficult for them.
Yep.
Another team, I don't want to pick on Italians too much, but Real Madrid, they're just a different team in Europe. Atalanta, they did excellent last season. There's been some difficulties in the locker room. Papus Gomez is out. I believe he moved to Sevilla.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, he's at Sevilla now, and I believe I think he came off the bench in the last match, but he did score a goal for his first goal for Sevilla.
So
I think
that'll
this
be
weekend.
interesting to see how Papu does there. But I think Real Madrid is also going to be a team I would consider having more than one player in.
Wow. So we're going to differ on Real Madrid here. I'm actually not high on them at all.
Okay.
Sergio Ramos just had surgery on his knee. He's out for at least 6 weeks. Their defense was already bad before that. I think this could be an upset here. I think Atalanta could do it.
Okay.
Not going to, I'm not investing too heavily in that match either way. Probably like 1 or 2 players from each would be the most I would want to do. But I don't think it's going to be the stroll that it might seem on paper when you just glance at it.
Okay. I know they're having a little bit of troubles. Obviously, they're not. Atletico is first in La Liga and doing quite well. I believe over 6-point advantage. I want to say 7, something like that. So they're doing excellent.
Do you think Atletico is a good fixture to target versus Chelsea then?
I don't want to say too much about Chelsea. They just got a new manager. So I know they're transitioning. They have a lot of clean sheets. I'm a little worried. I'm not sure what to say yet. Let's see. We get to see more Chelsea next week, and then second half. We're still filming, and the Chelsea's still playing right now, so we get to see more of them later.
Yeah, also keep in mind Chelsea just lost Thiago Silva. Not sure how long he's going to be out for, but he did injure himself in the last match. So we'll keep an eye on that leading into this matchup.
I do think Atletico will go through, but I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say Atletico, but it's not. I think it's going to be pretty close, though.
Okay, let's go on to our teams. Just kind of talking about those teams. I do have 2 Atletico players at this time. I am watching over the Chelsea and seeing how they play. This could change. I like Savic as a nice budget option. And then I like Luis Suarez a lot. He has been scoring multiple goals here. He's got excellent form. He's on penalties. Top scorer in La Liga. Overall, I think he's going to be an excellent signing for your fantasy team. In addition to that, I like the pedigree and everything about Real Madrid in Europe. I'm all on board for still. I see Benzema doing well. So he's in my team almost as a lock. Finally, just kind of going over forwards. Neymar, he had an excellent hat trick in match day 6, and he's gotten a nice rest. I think they're resting him. He's on the bench right now. They're kind of just he's one of those like big time players, big game players. I definitely say Neymar is a big game player, and I like to see what he can do to Barcelona. Moving on to the midfielders, Ilkay Gundogan, he had a brace against Liverpool. He's on excellent form. Anyone that's playing FPL kind of knows this guy's name. Mo Salah, for now, I'm hearing maybe Jota might be back. Is that true for the Champions League? Have you heard anything about that, Jason?
If I had to guess, it's going to come too soon, but we'll see. I'd keep an eye on it. I know he's going to be due back very soon.
Yeah.
I think as far as this first leg goes, unless it's announced that he's like back, ready to start, he has some minutes under his belt, I would ignore him for now, though.
I would definitely. I think one thing that I might add on. I have Kingsley Coman, who's been excellent winger for Bayern. They have multiple wingers. He's scored recently in their last few game weeks as well. I might add a second Bayern player to that. Maybe I won't be as... maybe I'll... What I said about Benzema, maybe Jason's right about Real Madrid. But I just have a feeling about them in Europe is just different. But anyways, you should definitely have at least 2 Bayern. Right now I have Davies and Coleman. And then here, my budget option here in midfield is Samardzic. Really not too much to say for him. I don't expect him to be playing in my team. And last here I have Federico Chiesa. He's kind of like a wild card pick for me. I think he's been excellent since in these late months. He's got huge games. He had a huge brace against Milan. He provides an outlet for Juventus. He's got excellent pace on him, which is something that they need. I see him as a for sure starter with Juventus in big matches, and I think they will do well with Chiellini back and De Ligt likely to be healthy as well. He's suffering from some COVID symptoms, but I think he'll be back as well for Champions League. I see Juventus doing quite well against Porto, another team I would highly target at least 2. Saying that, even Cristiano, I guess I'd say one thing I'm really considering is adding Cristiano or Messi. It's just something I don't have the money right now for them, but that could be another option. Let's see what happens in a week, what I do. Moving to my defense, I'm very heavy with, again, Juventus. De Ligt is, for me, one of the best center backs, top 3 center backs in the world. Alphonso Davies, he's kind of a wild card. I'm not sure if he's going to start. I know I want someone from Bayern, so I'm not 100% on Davies. But if he starts, I might. It'll be either him or either like Schürrle has been more consistent of a starter, or Alaba's been their most consistent starter, I think. So
what about Kimmich? He starts in midfield as not a position defender. He's their best player.
He is excellent too. Has he been playing recently?
Yeah, he starts every match.
Okay.
He was out with an injury for a while.
Okay.
But he is indeed back now.
I'm not. Yeah, Kimmich could be. Do you have Kimmich or something on your team?
Oh, for sure. I think he's a must-own at this point.
Okay, so that's definitely something I will look at too. But Davies just provides just a different flair, a different attack. But Kimmich is definitely, maybe I might have both. Really, I don't see that as being a bad option. Angelino, I think this guy is going to be essential. He's going to be attacking Liverpool. He's going to be attacking Trent. We see what kind of form Liverpool's defense is in recently. We also know Angelino's form. He's had plenty of goals and assists in Champions League and a recent goal in the last 3 games. Definitely someone to keep your mind on. For me, he's essential. And lastly, Koundé. Dortmund has been off form all season. Koundé is a nice priced defender, so it's an excellent budget option. Goalkeepers.
3.9. He's the cheapest defender you're going to find. So even if you don't like the fixture, I think it's hard to go away from him just as an enabler in your squad.
Yep. Goalkeeper wise, I'm heavy on Atletico here, and then Juventus as well. That I kind of already spoke about. I think Juventus probably had the best defense in Europe. So as long as they're healthy, Chiellini's back and everything. And then obviously Simeone tactics, obvious choice. All right, Jason, let's move on to your squad.
All right. So my round of 16 squad, currently at rank 5, about 5K right now. I think I definitely want to finish top 1K this year as my goal. So getting pretty close to that. So here's how I'm going to set up. Meantime. So start with the back. I'll go goalkeepers first. You already touched on Juventus's defense. You know, they were a little shaky early in the season, but these past couple of months, they've really settled on that 4-4-2 formation, and they've kind of hit their top gear since then as well. I think, you know, Pirlo, he does rotate quite a few players, his fullbacks, even his center backs, and his midfield. That's why I like Chesney a lot in my net, just because I know he's going to be playing. So he's like a guaranteed Juventus starter. With City, I love their defense. They've been in fantastic form in the league. You know, Mönchengladbach, they're a great attacking side, so it's not like a pushover as far as defending them. But if you listen to Pep Guardiola's recent comments about Ederson, he might be on PKs going forward, which could be huge as a goalkeeper. Nothing's confirmed there yet after Gundogan missed versus Liverpool, but it sounds like Ederson is definitely in the running for the next one. So I thought that was very interesting. Combine that with City's strong defense, and I like him a lot as a pick right now. Further up, so my standard defense. First, I'll touch on Christian Romero for Atalanta. So, you know, the Real Madrid fixture isn't the greatest one in the world, obviously. But Romero is the ball recovery king of the Champions League. 72 recoveries in the group stages. That's like almost 20 more than the second place ball recoverer, which is crazy. The fewest points he scored in the group rounds was 7. So he ranged anywhere from 7 to 12 points in every match he played in the group stages. I think he is the highest floor of any defender. And with a goal and assist in the Champions League, and also I think a goal and 2 assists, or 2 goals and 1 assist in Serie A, we know he has that kind of potential offensively as well. So I think he's a guy I definitely want on my team at only 5.1. Gosens is more of a goal threat from Atalanta, but that savings I get from Romero and the ball recoveries he gets, I think, are worth it for me. Koundé, we already touched on, the best budget enabler you're going to find. Joao Cancelo has been in fantastic form for City. Oftentimes he's finding himself almost tucked in as like a center mid when they're in the attack. He's both a goal threat and an assist threat, and obviously a clean sheet threat for City. So I think he's a shoe-in for my team, given his attacking potential as well as their clean sheet potential. Kimmich I already touched on earlier. Pretty expensive, but he's playing out of position in midfield. He scores, he assists. I don't think Bayern's going to keep a ton of clean sheets, the high line, the kind of risky style they play. They're more going to outscore the opponent. But the clean sheet potential is always there as well for a team that dominant. So for me, Kimmich is definitely going to be a shoe-in. So I expect Bayern to move on, so I want to invest in them as heavily as I can. Then, like you said, Savic for Atletico Madrid. Only 4.6. If you get an Atletico Madrid defender for 4.6, it's going to start. It's a pretty easy call, even if the fixture is not the greatest. Midfield, So this is kind of where I skimped out a little bit, took a lot of like ball winners and not necessarily the huge heavy hitters. But the one heavy hitter I did take was Thomas Muller. He is 10.0 for Bayern Munich. Reason I took him, he started every Bundesliga match this year, 20 matches. He has 10 goals and 10 assists in those 20 matches. So while I love Kingsley Coman, Serge Gnabry, there's just a lot of competition on the wings with them and Leroy Sané and even Douglas Costa as well. So for me, Muller is the for sure starter I know is going to play, and he still has plenty of upside. So I think he's worth the extra money if you can afford him. Even though Kingsley Coman was kind of the star of the group stages in Champions League, but I still like the safety of Thomas Muller going forward. Gundogan, we already kind of touched on him. He's in great form for Man City. He's their leading scorer in the league right now. He might be off penalties now, unfortunately, but like I said, if that goes to Ederson, either way, it's a benefit for this squad. Casemiro, not sold on him. I haven't been for his ball-winning capabilities and the fact that he always just seems to pop up with an important goal or assist whenever they need it. So I think at his price, he's a pretty decent option. Same with Frankie de Jong has been pretty key for Barcelona this year. He's really hitting top form in the league right now as well. He wins a lot of balls, so he's a nice safe floor as a pick. And doesn't have the greatest attacking potential, but he has been getting forward and bombing into the box a lot more in the league lately. So I think he has some untapped potential from what we saw in the group stages. Kind of the same with Weston McKennie. He's really kind of carved out his place in Andrea Pirlo's midfield as their kind of all-action midfielder, getting up the field. He makes the late runs into the box. So he's going to win the ball, he's going to assist, and he's going to score. Not at a particularly high rate, but given his price, I think he's a pretty solid pick, and the fact that I think Juve will go through. So from there, that just leaves me at my forward line. A lot of money is spent here. Lewandowski, I don't even need to explain that one. That's an easy pick. Cristiano Ronaldo, another easy one. He's one of the for sure starters for that Juventus side. He's in great form in the league right now, and I think Juventus is going to go through. No, that PSG Barca fixture, I'm not quite sure how I'm leaning on that one, so I'm kind of avoiding that as much as I can right now. That's why you're not seeing a Messi or a Neymar in my squad. I just don't know who to back at this point. I could change, but for now I'm just kind of avoiding. So kind of my wild card pick up top is Yusuf and Nesyri for Sevilla. He is in absolutely blistering form for them right now in the league. In the group stages, he only played 236 minutes as he was still kind of like getting integrated in, but he still scored 4 goals in that time frame. In the league, he's second only to Luis Suarez on the scorers table. And I would say right now, Borussia Dortmund's defense is arguably one of the worst of any team left in the competition. So while I'm not sure who's going to actually win that tie, I do think they're going to have goals against them. They've only kept 1 clean sheet since the calendar hit 2021. In a Sevilla score, it's likely going to be Yusuf who's going to be getting the goals. Now, there's one thing with Sevilla. Lucas Ocampos did get injured in their last match. He's been a key player for them. It sounds like he'll be out. But like you mentioned earlier, Papu Gomez, kind of a ready-made creative replacement in the squad, ready to go now. He scored his first goal in the last match they had. So I like Sevilla going forward. I'm not sure who's going to win that tie, like I said. But given Borussia Dortmund's really terrible defense lately, I expect goals against them for sure.
Yeah, I definitely like your 3 Bayern picks here. I'm kind of upset that I didn't think about Kimmich, like you've already mentioned. Feel kind of odd about that one. Yeah, that's definitely great play. I definitely do think Muller has been so consistent, and the change, how he's changed his career and how he plays. Everything about this guy is consistent, and I'm all on board with that. You have kind of convinced me here to really consider Casemiro, someone I kind of forgot about in terms of the ball recoveries. This is an excellent choice here. And you could also say the same about Christian Romero, but I'm just not sure about Atalanta. I know we disagree. Real Madrid's form might not be great, but I don't think Atalanta's form is either great. They drew 3-3 to Torino, 0-0 Napoli, and then they lost 3-1 against Lazio. One big win they did have, though, was 3-0 against Milan. This team has always kind of been like that, like a little inconsistent. Even last season, it was pretty similar, but they did almost beat PSG, and then who knows what happened there. This is the Champions League; it is knockout, so all to play for.
Yep.
This Ederson news is news for me, and that's a huge pick up there if he is on PKs. I'm sure Man City will draw some, so definitely someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah, hopefully, I think they have one more league fixture before we start at least. So if we can get clarification on that, that'd be wonderful. So just keep your eyes on Man City's upcoming fixtures before the Champions League. Hopefully we can get a feel for who's going to be on penalties for them.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of news. It's the Premier League, so that's most media, most attraction. So I'm sure we'll get more news about that.
Mm-hmm.
McKinney, I like too. I think he's a for sure starter for Juventus's best 11. Probably their best signing this season. Well, I think for sure their best signing.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's got plenty of scrappy goals, plenty of corner headers, all of this. So.
Yeah, plus, this is Americans Talk FPL. We had to have at least one American in our squads, right?
I don't know if I don't have an American, but I got a Canadian, so I think that'll work.
That's fair.
Close enough. That's what I always say. All right, I think that pretty much is gonna wrap it up for this quick preview. Keep a look out for our continuous UEFA Champions League fantasy content. We will be covering this all the way to the finals. We expect nothing but green arrows. Jason is aiming for that top 1K. Currently, I'm around 50K, just a little under 50K. So it'd be great if I could climb as well. Maybe top 10K would maybe be more realistic for me. In addition, we will also have our coverage of FPL as well. And check out, we will have a link to our Fantasy Football Scout as well. We do write for them, so check out the link below. Jason, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just keep in mind, I'm going to keep tinkering with this team in the lead up to Champions League. Still plenty of time to go. We'll release another video, so we'll finalize our picks and then kind of have a, here are our final thoughts leading into the Champions League. So, take this as a draft more than a final. Yeah. Just know that we'll be back before the games start to update everyone as well.
Exactly. Next week will be a more final pick, and then you can also follow us on Twitter where we will have our locked-in team as well.
Yep. And do you think we missed anyone? Any good shouts you have? Any thoughts on fixtures? Comment on the video. We'll get back to you on those for sure. Let's generate some good discussion on these because Champions League, it covers a lot of leagues. There's a lot of news you got to keep up on. So it's kind of like everyone has to help each other out in this, following the league you follow the most.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. UEFA Fantasy is undercovered, and we'd like to see that change.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys next week with our second part of our round of 16 coverage. Take care, guys.
All right, see ya.